Now today I'm going to be making up some roast potatoes. Now these roast potatoes are going to have a little bit more flavour than the normal ones. Now what we're going to be using is a little bit of Parmesan cheese, rosemary, we've got parsley, a little bit of nutmeg, salt and pepper. Cook them in olive oil and they are delicious. So if you've got a special occasion, maybe Thanksgiving, Christmas or some other occasion, give these a go because they're really delicious. Now for making up these delicious roast potatoes, I'm just going to go through the ingredients. Now I've got a bowl of potatoes. In terms of weight, mine's roughly about 2 kilograms. The ones I've chosen to use are these ones called Maris Piper. They're nice floury ones. So, you know, you sort of soften them down, parboil them, and then when you roast them up, you've got a lovely sort of coating on the outside. But obviously go and use the ones that you would normally use for roast potatoes. Now to give it the flavour, we're going to use 100 grams of Parmesan cheese. Now we need to grate that. That's roughly half that packet. So, you know, a fair bit of cheese, but that's a lovely flavour. Now we've got some rosemary, 3 or 4 sprigs of rosemary. Just strip the leaves off and then chop it up nice and fine. Now I've also got some parsley, so break your leaves off. Again, chop them up nice and fine. You can chop them up together if you like. 2 teaspoons, that's a small spoon, of plain flour. Then we've got some nutmeg. Now I tend to use it from the nut and just grate it. Just a little pinch of that because it really adds a lovely flavour to mashed potato on your roast potatoes, and it's just a little bit Christmassy and it's lovely. So a little bit of nutmeg, freshly ground black pepper, some salt, and then we're going to cook it in some olive oil. So there's all the ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is get it all prepared, so chopped up, grated, peeled, ready to go, and then we're going to go over to the hob and just parboil the potatoes. So I've come over to the hob, I've got my potatoes all peeled in some cold water. I'm just going to add some salt in there, and also I've sort of chopped up the herbs, got the cheese all grated, so that's all ready on the table when we need them. Now what I'm going to do with the potatoes is put some salt in there to start with. Just going to put a bit on my hands so we don't overdo it. A little bit more. Right, put the lid on. Now what I'm going to do is switch it on and bring it up to the boil. Once it's come up to the boil, what you want to do is turn the heat down a little bit, still so it's bubbling away, and just cook until when you stick a knife in the potato, it just slides off. Now I've had the potatoes cooking for just about 8 minutes, and I think they're just starting to slide off the knife, so that's about right. Switch them off, try not to overboil them. Now I'm going to take those over to the sink and we're going to drain away all the water you can. Just tip the water away. Now I'm using these like oven gloves because it is hot and it's boiling water, so do be careful. And just try and drain away as much of that water as you can. That's it. That'll do. Take the lid off. And there's your potatoes, but do be careful with them. They're nice and soft on the outside, which is what you want, but you don't want to break them up too much. So, you know, let's take those over to the table, prepare that sort of cheesy mixture that's going to go on the outside. Now I've got myself a bowl, and I think I'll just start off with the herbs. It doesn't matter what order, they're all going to be mixed up anyway. Just scrape that in, lovely. Parsley, rosemary, delish. Going to put in the flour. Also, might as well put the black pepper in. Put a good pinch of that. I mean, obviously do these sort of things to taste, but good pinch. Salt. Again, good pinch of that. Nutmeg. Just going to get a nut that I've kind of ground down, but that's it, just a little bit of nutmeg. And then of course we've got the Parmesan. Lovely, lovely. Now, you can just mix this up quickly. So you've got it all mixed. And really, that is your mixture that's going to go on the outside of your potatoes. So that's all done. Let's bring the potatoes over. Now I think what I'll do is I'll get myself the plate. Just get that in view. And I think we'll just put a little layer at the bottom. Spread that out a little bit. That's it, lovely. Got me potatoes, which are still, you know, a little bit of steam coming off there, so they're kind of still nice and hot. Now, I'm just going to kind of gently put those in there like that. Try and be gentle with the potatoes if you can. Now, I've got a few at the bottom that kind of got a little bit mush, but that's all right. Just scrape that out and put that in, because that will roast up and be little bits, and oh, that'll be delicious. There you go. Got that one escaped. Now again, I saved some of the sort of mixture just so you can kind of splash it on top like this. Like that. Now what we're going to do is, because it's obviously the cheese, just going to let that sit on the potatoes, and that will very slightly melt. And what we're going to do in the meantime is get a baking tray with some olive oil, put that in the oven and get that hot. Now the oil's just nice and hot, so pull that out. Going to put that on the table and tip in the potatoes. The oil is fairly hot. Now all that little bit of cheesy mixture, just pour that over the top. Because mixed with that potato and everything, that will be delicious. And that will melt and be wonderful. So I'm just going to pop those back in the oven and give them a shake. Let's put them in. That's it. Leave them in there. Same temperature, so 200 degrees Celsius, and you want to cook those until they got a really nice colour. I would say 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour at the most, and if you can, halfway through, just gently turn them over. Now I've had the potatoes cooking for about 25 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is give them a quick shake. Just pull those out. They smell wonderful. Give them a little shake, because that kind of loosens them up sometimes from the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is pull those out, put them on the table, because I do want to turn them round. So once you've got them loose, you can obviously just turn them round with a spoon, but they look delicious and they smell wonderful. Now I'm just going to gently try and turn those over so we can kind of roast the other side a little bit. I think that'll do us. So I'm going to put those back in the oven, carry on cooking. Now the main thing is, try and get a little bit of colour on the outside. So if yours take a little bit longer, leave them a little bit longer. So I'm going to pop mine in, and we'll check them in about another 20-25 minutes. Now I've had the roast potatoes cooking for a total of 50 minutes. So it's 50. Now they're starting to get a nice colour on. The cheese has got a beautiful colour as well. Look at those. They look absolutely delicious. Now I'm going to, first of all, give them a quick shake, just loosen them up, put them on the table, and then we're going to try one. Now just take the potatoes out, and they are really hot. Now I am going to try one of these. I think I'm going to go for this one. That one looks really delicious. Got the herbs, the cheese. Let's try it, but it is going to be hot, so do be careful. Hot. Oh. 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 That is really hot, but once I manage to cool it down enough, oh, it's delicious. The rosemary, that Parmesan cheese, it is so nice. These are delicious roast potatoes, so, you know, if you want to have a special meal, give them something more than your standard roast potatoes, go and make these. These are delicious. Now, although I've got mine there, I've actually been cooking a chicken in the background, roasted chicken. So, you know, I'm going to serve mine all up as a nice meal and go and enjoy. I've got my gravy. I'm just going to pour a little bit of that on there. A little bit in the veg. Put it where you like. I like it kind of a little bit all over, really. Nice. Now, let's just get stuck in. The potatoes is what this video is all about, but equally, you know, the chicken's nice. But I'm just gonna chop a little bit of that potato. Look at that. That is a good combination. You got herbs, you got Parmesan cheese, you got soft roast potatoes. You can't go wrong with that. Absolutely lovely. And obviously, if you want to make it, you know, really nice, go and serve it up with whatever meat you want. Now, I've got a bit of chicken here. Roasted chicken, lemon, garlic. Delish. Thanks for watching my videos, especially if you watch them right to the end. I'll see you on the next one, The Original Naked Chef.